Our mission for this album quest is to unpack one specific, completely bonkers group. Group 185.
Oh, this lineup is something else.
Get this. The Bloodhound Gang, Hooray for Boobies, Slipknot, Iowa.
Okay.
Rumer, Boys Don't Cry, and CeeLo Green, The Lady Killer.
Wow. Yeah, that's a mix. Calling it a genre collision doesn't quite cover it.
It's pure chaos. But the source material gives us a key piece of context right away.
Yeah, the author flags it immediately. Despite that insane diversity, it wasn't really a four-horse race. It apparently became a really tight three-way battle pretty quickly.
And the ranking, especially for second and third, actually flipped around a bit during the listening.
Exactly, which tells you the margins were incredibly thin between those top three contenders.
Okay, so let's start with the one that wasn't in the fight. The clear outlier.
Right. Gotta be Slipknot's Iowa. Came in fourth place, definitively.
The source says it was never in the running. Like, not even close in this group.
And probably not in many groups, given the criteria of this whole quest. It's described, perhaps kindly, as an acquired taste.
You really have to want that sound.
Desperately, I think.
Yeah, the description is intense.
Yeah.
Demonic sounding, a blitz of disturbing, thrashing sounds.
Not just heavy metal thunder, it specifies. It's a heavy metal tornado.
Leaving the listener not knowing which way is up. That sounds exhausting.
It does. And when you're judging based on, like, overall structure and listenability across the whole album...
That kind of raw energy just doesn't score well.
Pretty much penalized, yeah. The author said they tried, listened multiple times, that ultimately landed on Angry Mess.
But there's a twist.
Ah, yes, the anecdote. It shows how even if the structure fails the test, the music itself can still get under your skin.
It's brilliant. Despite calling it an angry mess, the author admits, catch this, humming the tune to people's shit while getting cornflakes.
Ah, see? It just burrows in. That's the paradox, isn't it?
Totally. The method rejects it, but your subconscious is like, nope, catchy riff.
So it can't win the overall battle for consistency. But those moments, that raw power, they stick with you. Fascinating.
Okay, so let's move from that,
yeah,
tornado, into the albums that were battling it out. The top three.
Right. The three-way fight. Coming in third, just missing out, was CeeLo Green's The Lady Killer.
Ah, okay. A very different vibe. Confident, soulful, polished.
Very polished. It kicks off really strong, too, with Bright Lights, Bigger City. Got that great 80s synth thing going on.
Yeah, instantly catchy. And then it moves into more like funk and soul pop territory.
Solid stuff. And the absolute standout, Forget You, is rightly called a beautiful slice of soulful pop.
That song was everywhere. And I love the little detail the source mentioned about its afterlife.
Oh, yeah.
Covered by the Muppets. In the 2011 movie. Apparently with a chicken clucking the main melody.
Seriously, a chicken. That's amazing. Shows how massive that song was, though.
Definitely a peak moment. So, with highs like that,
yeah,
why did it only get third?
Consistency. That's the killer in this quest. The critique was that after those big singles...
the quality dipped.
Yeah. More than a couple of tracks don't carry the sharpness of the singles, is how the source put it. Filler tracks, basically.
Right. And when the competition is this tight, even a few weaker moments can cost you.
Especially when you're up against albums judged on totally different merits. So CeeLo missed out by the slightest of margins.
The slightest of margins to the Bloodhound Gang. Okay, hang on. How does Hooray for Boobies beat the polish and the hits of the Lady Killer? That feels counterintuitive.
Well, remember that margin? The author had a very specific way of describing just how small it was.
Oh, do tell.
They said the difference between CeeLo and Bloodhound Gang was, and I quote, so small you could barely place a nipple between them.
Oh my God, okay. That's graphic. But maybe appropriate for the band.
Perhaps. But yeah, Hooray for Boobies snagged second place. It advanced.
So why? What was the justification?
Coherence. Strange as it sounds, the source credits sheer overall consistency. It calls it their most coherent work.
Coherent in its puerile adult humor, you mean?
Kind of, yeah. They establish a persona, a sound, that mix of punkish hooks, rap verses, and nonstop juvenile jokes, and they stick to it relentlessly.
So consistency of tone and persona, even if the content is, let's say, questionable.
Can beat inconsistent musical sophistication in this specific kind of ranking. That seems to be the takeaway here.
Wild. But the source does admit there's actual musicality there, right? Not just jokes.
It does. It concedes there are good musical ideas buried in there.
And you can't deny the hits. Bad Touch, Ballad of Chasey Lane, those were proper top 15 charting songs. People know them.
Absolutely. And then there's that other track, A lap dance is so much better when the stripper is crying.
Right. Controversial title, to say the least.
But musically, the source calls it an interesting musical piece. It makes you think, okay, beneath the shock value, there was some craft.
Which leads to that question the author asks.
Yeah, what could they have actually done if they'd played it straight? What if they'd focused purely on the music?
We'll never know. But for this group, that unwavering commitment to their shtick got them through, just barely.
Which leads us finally to number 1. The winner of Group 185.
After all that, Rumer's Boys Don't Cry. Talk about whiplash.
Complete tonal shift. From Slipknot's noise to Bloodhound Gang's crudeness.
To something described as understated graceful.
And that immediate comparison point sounds incredibly similar to Karen Carpenter.
That's a very specific, a very distinctive sound. Old-fashioned almost.
Definitely old-fashioned sounding, as the source notes, but with really solid production. And the key here is the album's concept.
It's all covers, right?
Exactly. A collection of covers of songs originally by 1970s male artists and writers. Think Jimmy Webb, Todd Rundgren, Gilbert O'Sullivan.
Ah, okay. So the consistency is almost baked in from the start. She's working with these classic, well-structured songs.
Precisely. She takes that strong source material and applies this very gentle, very consistent interpretive style across the board.
The unity is built in. The production must be key, too, to keep that graceful, sort of muted feel.
Absolutely critical. Everything sounds warm, focused on her voice. It creates this cohesive listening experience.
And the source mentions the track flow is deliberate, too. It starts relatively upbeat.
Yeah, with P.F. Sloan. It's got enough of a hook, a bit of pop melody to draw you in.
Gets you comfortable.
Right. And then the album gets progressively slower and more gentle the deeper you listen.
A structured emotional journey through softness.
It's the polar opposite of Slipknot's chaos, but its structural integrity is impeccable. And in this quest, that's what wins.
So let's recap this absolutely wild Group 185. Final order. Number 1, Rumer, Boys Don't Cry.
Number 2, advancing alongside her, the Bloodhound Gang, Hooray for Boobies.
Number 3, just missing out, CeeLo Green, the Lady Killer.
And number 4, never really in contention here, Slipknot's Iowa.
What a group. So the big takeaway, connecting back to the listener and this whole album quest idea.
It really hammers home the power of the methodology, doesn't it? Objective criteria, consistency, coherence, override everything else. Genre, sophistication, raw energy. They all take a backseat.
A quiet, graceful album of 70s covers beats a crude comedy punk album.
Which just edges out a polished soul album with a few weak spots, all because of how well they held up structurally over repeated listens.
It really does strip away your usual biases. Okay, so here's a final thought for you, based on who won and who came second. Rumer won with interpretation, covering other songs beautifully. Bloodhound Gang advanced by nailing a consistent persona.
Interesting comparison.
So what do you think creates a more lasting musical work in a competitive setting like this? Is it perfecting the interpretation, like Rumer? Or is it about the flawless delivery of a unique, established persona, even a controversial one like the Bloodhound Gang managed?
Interpretation versus persona. That's a great question to chew on.